Hello and welcome back to Cultist Simulator. Unfortunately, a little while back, uh, a few days ago, I got quite sick, so I'm still kind of coming down off of that. So if I'm sniffly or coughing, that would be the reason why. However, I very much wanted to get back to this, so I haven't quite looked. Oh boy. Okay, so that's something we'll have to take care of. But beyond that, it looks like everything else is going alright. Okay, let's see. Spectre Wakefield. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got sick just in time for school to start back up, and so that was, absolutely perfect timing. Oh, I sold a painting. I found a customer. She'll probably hang it in her spare bedroom and never look at it again, but her money is good. Neat. That does also give us some glimmering, which we're not using at the moment, looks like. We'll go back to our regular job. So yeah, with school starting back up, hopefully that it doesn't get too much in the way of this. So it's probably... Okay, so I would have to do this one. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'll try not to let it get too far in the way, but if I have either homework or I need to start studying for exams, of course, that's just the way that is. Okay, so Spectre Wakefield. Oh, did he find some evidence? Oh, shoot. Okay. Or not evidence. That's not necessarily the worst. So we have something to study, but this is already taken up. Yeah, it has been a little while since the last time I played, so hopefully I'm not too rusty. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Got a little bit of contentment. Something interesting that is going on, though, is that my D&D group has started playing again. Did that the other night. Played a little bit of D&D. Absolutely love doing that. I am their dungeon master. So I am the one who, comes up with all the stories. And by come up with all the stories, it's more like on the spot coming up with it, since I'm pretty bad at looking at material beforehand. Hopefully none of them are listening to this right now. That way, granted, I think most of them at this point know that I tend not to, or I'm bad about coming up with stuff just on the spot. Oh no, okay. So we have another acquaintance. Saliba. Saliba is a man of prodigious appetites. He is long past the point where their satisfactions have given him any pleasure, but he has learnt so very much. Looks like... Okay, so we're starting our acquaintances up here. We can just go ahead and continue. So yeah. Not much going on. It looks like we have a little bit of money, and as we know, what we do with money is buy books. As is real life, of course. I could carry a man across a river now, or strangle him. A steely physique. So we can still upgrade it once more. Though that requires... That's a little bit harder to do than the rest of these have been so far. Oh, do you not... Was that an accident? I thought you had to be diligent. Maybe you don't. Although I doubt you get the extra pay if you're not. So it looks like we're not doing anything with this currently, so let's go ahead and study the Hours of a Gentleman. By the end of the first act, Mevelin has revealed a secret door in the walls of the House of Leo, and Corvino has taken to consuming worms. Quite a lovely comedy, it sounds. So let's see. Apparently I found something noteworthy. Kittling Ripe and Moldywarp's Grave and Other Stories. A lusciously illustrated tome of loosely connected children's stories. Few of them are remotely suitable for children. Okay. And since we still have more money yet, let's continue this. We haven't quite yet dealt with our despair, so that's something to consider. Especially because of the fact that we're now about to get an extra one. What hungers drive us? So yeah, hopefully we can start making more progress in this soon. The one thing about Cultist Simulator is that the mid-game to end-game is what I personally don't enjoy the most. My curiosity is becoming a physical need. My eyes will be thresholds. It is almost time to perform the work and begin the changes, but I must have enough lantern aspect. Exploration might find it. Okay. So that's telling us, like, hey, you really need to explore. Which actually, I should probably start doing... Cooner and Girth's... Oh boy. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna try to pronounce all that. A Greek grammar. An essential weapon for the furious struggle with a challenging language. Yeah, no. Sorry. I know very little Greek myself. Are these right? See, what we need to do... Let's go ahead and try... So what we're gonna go for is some disposable followers. Although I just realized... Only 3. I'd like one that's better than that, but actually I realized what we should first do. So, something I have not yet done... The play is scabrous and occasionally hilarious. The characters are contrary and capricious. Many of the more resonant lines might well be formulae for power disguised in plain sight. So we get an additional Watchman's Secret. But yeah, the one thing I haven't quite yet done yet is, if you read this... exploring with a scrap of knowledge may uncover secret locations. I believe this one would be within the city. So, with these, we can get locations to give us some additional stuff. Okay. Yeah, let's continue. Actually, let us make a beautiful painting. With our yearning. Okay. So we have healed. And now, let's see, get rid of that. Yeah, currently we don't really have anything to, oh no, actually we do. The protagonist, the speechless cat thing called Kitling Wright, performs a series of elaborate rites to rescue members of her extended family, culminating in the resurrection of her own grandmother, Moldywarp. Okay. And we aren't picking up this hireling necessarily. While that is what I'm looking for somebody better. If not a hulking fellow, it would then be professional muscle. So, we aren't currently using the dream. There isn't anything we want from there. That's an extra vitality. Oh, yes, so using a cult scrap. Seek out secret places of the city. There are places in the city where I can find extraordinary things if I can sift the clues out of history and rumor. So now we're looking for places to dig up artifacts, essentially. Mostly books. And let's see. Oh, lovely. I finished the painting to the excitement of absolutely no one but me. So that did happen to give us a little bit of contentment, which is good because you can start without using diligence. I don't know what using diligence does then necessarily. That's good because that gets rid of this for us. So, let's see. Give a little bit of additional contentment, which is always helpful. When the snake witch killed the stag, Kitling snatched one of its eyes. When the dry witch killed the sow, Kitling stole a cup of its blood. Then she took them to the place Moldywarp lay buried, and she shook out her hair and she began to dance. So that gives us an additional glimmering, which we currently don't necessarily have a need for. It also gave us a wood whisper. Lie awake and listen. The wind speaks in the branches. The house cries out in its sleep. These are the roads that chaos ride. So, helpful. Though we already did have the upgraded version. There's no need not to learn our Greek grammar. Finally, we get that. An additional vitality. This place merits a closer investigation. Strythcon's residence? The House of Mythos Strythcon, a collector of rare objects. Strythcon will not sell his treasures, but a sufficiently cunning accomplice might gain entry. So we're also going to go ahead and look up this place too. Now, the main issue that we have with doing those is that we're not high enough level yet. Oh, you're not. Oh no, wait, that is where you're meant to be. Yeah. Because the best that we can do is a level 2, and I think at minimum we want a level 5. So unfortunately that requires possibly upgrading these guys, but I don't think we'll be able to do that at the moment. Maybe, is the diligence purely for upgrading it? It might be. In that case, I guess I don't really have to worry about it. Well, I'll keep doing it anyway. I don't think it hurts necessarily to do it. I mean, the worst thing it does is it takes away 2 of our reasons at a time. A determined and distinctive tongue, but I have the measure of it. Now we know we are a scholar of Greek. Okay, we have an additional restlessness, which isn't a huge issue at the moment. We don't have anything we're necessarily looking or need to study, so this place merits. Oh, interesting. Congregation of Saint Felix of Shuren, a nonconformist enclave of heterodox sect of a Calvinist offshoot, tucked away in an odd corner of the city. They belt out hymns with unsatiable gusto in a throat-scraping language that sounds similar to Latin. Well then, that's I have not seen before. This is a location I have not seen before, which I find very interesting. Well, as I said, what we were going to do is hopefully get somebody who's a little bit more disposable than who we currently have at our hands. And that is not what we got. We got an overlooked place I might have found somewhere unusual. And that's not necessarily going to help us at the moment. So keep looking. This is going to possibly become an issue. And I don't have an easy way to get rid of restlessness immediately. Oh, let's see. Oh, an experienced swindler. How delightful to be working with you. We will certainly hire you. We will continue working at Glover. I guess I won't pay them this time. We'll alternate between the two. See if... I don't like the idea of not... What I'm worried about is that if you don't use your reason at all at this level, maybe they'll demote you. That seems reasonable. So if we go between using our reason and not, at the very least, then we have more reason at a time. As I said, we're not necessarily studying anything for the moment. We will be exploring. Although I probably shouldn't be, because the tentative evidence can bite us. Now that I think about it, that's kind of a bad idea. But we're gonna do it anyway. In the hopefulness that we don't get caught. Oh boy, okay. Because I did sort of forget that we had this tentative evidence. We can just simply wait for the moment. We have time on our side. Let's wait. No, let's go ahead and... Actually, hold on. Because you are... Yeah, you're meticulous, always to see creating evidence for notoriety. So no, we want to actually be very careful while we have Wakefield chasing us. Which means that, since it's a season of suspicion, what we want to do is wait until this timer goes all the way down. Which is fine, because that just means that we can make more money in the meantime. And I know I said I was going to go in between the two. I guess I can do that. Do some devotion. Because I don't think you can get moved up with either devotion or diligence. I believe you have to have both. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll be proven wrong right here. Okay, so right after this goes, we can start exploring. Okay. So you're our leader. We won't send an assistant with them, and we'll only give them 1 funds. Mr. Strythcon has forbidden entry to his library. Unfortunate. Let's see what we can do. So we're hoping that this is enough to get through. Pretty sure it's not. But worst case scenario, we only end up losing a little bit of money and just, one disposable body. Easy to get more of experienced swindlers. Although this isn't necessarily using the newer system, and it's only watchers. Mortals, perhaps even ordinary mortals, but quite a number of them. They can be fought, seduced, or deceived. So, we could possibly improve our chances, except we can't because we don't have anybody with Moth Aspect. So unfortunately, hopefully the Swindler is enough by themselves. Okay. Continue working at Glover and Glover with some... yeah. So it looks like we're safe up here. He did not get any notoriety. We haven't quite yet done with our sad thoughts, but I don't have an easy way to take care of that. Against the Watchers, a likely deception. Awake, awake, they're upon us. That way, quickly. Okay. We could... oh, I don't have anything. I was about to say we could try to upgrade our Watchman's Secret. Which might potentially help us, move forward. But I'm not necessarily worried about that. The Watchers' confusion, their bewilderment is our opportunity. We'll pass in silent secrecy. Are those the same thing? Or no, I guess the secrecy is silent. Secrecy is not necessarily silent. Continue to work. The work is demanding now, but it's better paid. Oh, I was hoping you said something about the scratching of pins. Treasure lies before us. Their bewilderment is our opportunity. Oh, this says the same thing. I thought it would have changed. Oh well. Unfortunate. And additional despair. Potentially. We have breathlessness. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Strathcone's cozy sanctum. A fire smolders in the gate. Glass cases display hard-won trinkets. We must seize what we can, quickly. Strathcon may already have telephoned the police. So, that looks like it's going well. And... let's see, let's fast forward. Just a little bit. Ink, paper, and the fizzing of the electric lights. The office is dark when I leave. Outside on the pavement, I turn up my collar. So we're gonna go ahead, and as we have done before, paint away our restlessness. This is not great, but I think it'll solve itself. Out into the night, we escape unseen, but the next day there are reports of a fire at Strathcon's. Did someone knock a live coal in the hearthrug, or did Strathcon destroy the place himself as part of some larger scheme? I don't necessarily know why he would, but we do get some notoriety, and that's the main issue with doing this. But we do get the Wainscot Histories. Subtitled Stories from Behind the Walls, a miscellany of non-traditional histories compiled by William Gore, including battles not generally acknowledged in countries which appear nowhere. Apparently fictional manner. So, Is this? What? Whoa! Okay, I feel like this is getting this super early. Maybe that's just me. So this will let us learn of Fushuin. Prince Alestro's the crust spent years in the secret study on the tablets taken from Fushuin marshes in central Italy. So we'll be able to learn another language. The Locksmith's Stream, Stolen Reflections. The fourth volume, Teresa Gallmer's expansive work. No longer a discussion of dreams of artisans, but a valuable survey of some stuff that's behind my timer. This volume was published in 1926, but almost immediately recalled and pulped by the publisher at the request of the author, possibly the authorities, depending on which story you believe. A few copies survive. Traveling at Night, Volume 3, The Annotated Dream Journals of Christopher Lopoli, sometimes called the only readable Cultist, literate, entertaining, bewildering. This is the third volume. And the Trees on Underplaces. Heron, a 17th century mystic and antiquarian, Claude Herschel describes the bounds or underplaces on the borders of dreams. He warns they shift over time. Interesting. Okay. Quite a number of books. Quite a number of books. Wow. We now have some research material. And we still have one more place to go. However, let's just take care of this now. So, an experienced swindler was enough before. Will it be enough again? And let's go ahead and start digesting these books. The walls of the manses Herschel begins are the size of starlight. Many of his directions are equally unhelpful, but common relationships do emerge. So, this will means that he will create an additional set of notes. Ooh. So, monks, they cannot be deceived. Our expedition plans for the next challenge. It consumes funds. I can add funds now, or I could send another follower. So, as before, it looks like our best bet is hoping for the experienced swindler to succeed. Okay, so we got a little bit of contentment. Some stuff is going on. A picturesque account of a journey through nightmare interspread with what might be partial rites. On the 18th ascent is the bud, on the 36th ascent the blossom. And we got an Juvian rite. Every door in the mansis requires its sacrifice before it will open. The Juvian rite prescribes the manner of the sacrifice. So, we now have some additional lock aspect, which that's actually helpful. Go back to work. And next, let's read The Traveling at Night. Alopli's disquish... Yeah, I just don't know how to say that word. Disquestions? That sounds silly to me. On the fire and the unburnt god are interrupted by passages of distractingly erotic poetry addressed to Baldemera. Oh my. Well. Well. The monk's delusions. Faith is a double-edged weapon. These monks have a great talent in the matter of believing, and so they have believed our lies. Okay then. However, I just meant to pause. However, with that, as the end of this episode. Come back next time.